New Local Legends Podcast. Real small town success stories.
You have quite the lineups.
We believe that if people know better, they can do better.
When you kissed me by the river.
Sponsored by Glockner Enterprises.
Best prize made at Glockner Chevrolet.
Time to turn.
Rich Moon.
Welcome to the Speakeasy.
The amount of love and compassion.
The hope that's been bubbling up in the last few years.
The finer things about Portsmouth.
You just don't see that everywhere.
Local legends only.
Up here. Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to the 9th annual Glockner Dare to Dream High School Business Pitch Competition. This is the 9th annual. It's been 9 years we've been running this program. My name is David Kilroy. I'm the program director for the Cricket Innovation Hub here at Shawnee State University. So first of all, I'd like to thank you all for spending your Mardi Gras with us here tonight. That kind of snuck up on me. I noticed no one is taking the brownies outside. Please feel free to help yourselves. And second, I want to recognize all of the students that have spent all their hard work on these presentations. Every year we see great presentations, and it takes a lot of work from the students. So to kick us off, I'd like to give the students all a round of applause. Okay, thank you. So this is a great event for creating the next generation of entrepreneurs and leaders here in our area. It's really about creating opportunity. It takes a lot to be able to go through a program like this and put all of that hard work and stand up here on stage and present it. So I just want to make sure all the students here realize that the skills you're building as part of this program are skills that are going to be useful to you for the rest of your lives, no matter what you do. So you should be proud of that. Today we're in the floor lecture hall here at Shawnee State University. Right now, the university is investing, thanks to the support of private donors, the state of Ohio, and the Economic Development Administration, $4.5 million into the Innovation Hub in downtown Portsmouth. The big white building on the corner of 3rd Street and Chillicothe Street, you may have driven past it on your way in here with all the windows broken out so they can replace them. So maybe not a great image right here today, but in a couple months it's going to look really good. So I'm really excited to have that available to students and to our community here in Southern Ohio. Again, last but not least, we have some refreshments available right outside through those doors. Please help yourself now and then during the intermission. If you absolutely need to go through the double doors, just try and don't do it while the team's presenting. Wait till they're done presenting and the judges are asking questions. We can interrupt them, that's fine. Other than that, just wait till intermission. There's also restrooms out there all the way back and to your right. Let's see. Oh, and last thing, please wear your masks. Shawnee State does have a mask mandate in effect, unless you are the presenters up here on stage. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to Mike. Mike, come on up and say a few words.
Thank you, David. As he mentioned, this is our 9th year. The program could not exist unless we had sponsors. Yeah, Mick and I found out very quick. Mick Fawson, say hi.
Hi.
Mick Fawson has been the partner with this, working with me on this for the last 9 years. We found out very early when we went to our first school, we presented the idea and we talked about scholarships. I don't want to shock you parents, but the kids really didn't care about the scholarships. So we had the bright idea, said let's present this, and we were at Missy Wilburn's school, Russell. We said, well, let's switch it. There's no restrictions. The sponsorship money will be cash for the students. So the vice principal announced that to the lunch group, and as soon as we did that, we had a line at our table wanting to talk to us. Right? Imagine that. Students were interested in actually receiving money. Yeah, what a revelation to us. How dumb were we? But we could not have given out money unless we had the sponsors. Yeah, Vic and I are part of the Tri-State Angel Investment Group. We have great partners and friends there, and we pitched the idea to them about being involved with us, and immediately Andy Glockner says, I'll be your title sponsor. Yeah, that basically launched the program. Andy has been the title sponsor, or the Glockner Enterprises have been the title sponsor for the last 9 years. It wasn't just the money that we came up with. You know, the Glockner name is so strong within the community, the honesty, the integrity. Yeah, Andy actually sent letters to the schools for me here in Southern Ohio. I would never have got in the door if it hadn't been the Glockner name on it, because all the schools have so many programs that they can be involved with that, everybody just looks past your letter. When it said Glockner on the letter, then I was able to get into the schools. So Andy's here today. Where did Andy go? There he is. He's back in the back hiding. He's Mr. Shy. But Andy and his sponsorship is the reason we have been able to grow the program. He's been involved every year. And we have a lot of sponsors that are there. And I'll talk about some of those too. Just an example, when you have a choice to go to eat, well, SRF, Smith Family Restaurants is here. They're a sponsor. Go to Wendy's when you're going to eat. Or it's Buffalo Wild Wings. You have Winchester Restaurant in Ashland. They're a sponsor. You have many of those sponsors that help us bring this money in. And then you talk about, the other people that help us. When we receive sponsorship money, there's $35,000 in sponsorship money tonight. Every dime of that will go to the students. Well, you can't do that unless you have what we call in-kind sponsors, like Shawnee State. They're the host of this program. We get to use this facility, no charge, doesn't take the money away from the students that the sponsors are giving. David Cricker and his team, he has like 3 or 4 people here working tonight. He works tirelessly to put the program on. He's a great partner in doing this. To be honest with you, I couldn't do the program if David wasn't involved, because he's the one that does basically all the work, all right? So, you have Cricker, and he does all of his work for this program. You have people like Kindred Charities. When a sponsor gives us money, I send that money through Kindred Charities. I never touch the money. And did you know a nonprofit, if you have them handle your money, normally they charge you 20%? Something I didn't know when I first started this. But here you have Kindred Charities that no charge takes care of your money. We have no touch it. Mick and I never touch the money. We know it's going to go to the students when it's in. So we have those in-kind people that are helping us out at the same time. Then we talk about our teachers. Mick and I were talking earlier, and we are really old people, okay? Back in our day, you just didn't have the programs that you do today. Every student here and every teacher here is dealing with, I don't even know how many different programs. And for them to select and be involved with the Dare to Dream program is significant. We have 7 high schools involved. 3 of those high schools now have this as a graded project in their schools. And that's really helped the program grow. But if they'll have our teachers stand up, I'd like to just recognize them for their hard work. You have Nate Klein here from Portsmouth. Erica Merrill, stand up. I know it's terrible getting out of those chairs. Erica Merrill from Green. Josie Collier from South Webster. She does 2 schools now, South Webster and Wheelersburg. You have Christine Johnson, which is acting as a coach out of Minford. You have STEM plus M in South Point, which is, I don't know if Professor Ben Ing is here or not. He's from Marshall University, help coach. We do have Shelby Davidson here, and Shelby's the one that really all my communication goes through her with the STEM, and she really helps coordinate everything. And then you have Missy Wilburn here. I really hate that Missy is here, because every year she brings in teams in the first place for Kentucky. But she's a great friend, and I appreciate that. Mick was really well. And yes, Mick and I have a little bit of a kind of a wager or a competition. He does Kentucky, I do Ohio, and the loser has to buy lunch at the Winchester. So go Ohio. I don't want to buy his lunch, right? Then you have the students. Originally we had almost 50 teams that signed up and said they'd be in the program this year. When it came down to putting in the work and actually getting to the competitions, we had in-store or in-school competitions. We had 40-some teams that presented to have the privilege of getting to be the 15 that came here tonight. So we had 40, we had 15, and probably the toughest job that Mick and I had is we have to say, well, there has to be a limit to the number that you bring. Don Perry, I'll talk about him in a second, he's the lead judge and he has to kind of keep things moving, and we don't want to be here till midnight. I go to bed at 10, so we got to move things along, right? And if you're not laughing at that, you don't understand me, because everybody in the world knows I go to bed at 10 and get up at 6. But yeah, we have to cut it off at 15. Because of that, we left some really good, talented teams behind. But the 15 that are here, they are the best of the best. If you make it to the final as a team, you make money. $35,000, the judges decide how that is split out. There's a significant difference between being in first and being in the bottom quartile. So we have all those teams here. We got 15 of the best that are going to be here. And then we have our judges. I do have the privilege of getting to select the judges. They are sponsors, they are friends, they are mean, they are nasty, and they are ugly. Matter of fact, I've seen one team out here, they actually wore bicycle helmets in because they heard that they throw rocks at you. So that's actually part of their skit. But let's talk about my judges over here. I'll talk with Connor. Connor is representing Tim and the Glockner Enterprises. He's the brand manager for them. And he also worked really hard on helping up setting up our social media. And who's going to talk about live streaming? Because we're live streaming this and having people connect.
Yes, we are live streaming it. We're kind of duplicating it here, but you can find it on the Innovation Hub's Facebook page, although you all don't need that. So you can find the recording there too.
And then I see Faith Knudsen. Now, Faith and John Glazer were the ones that originally had the idea to do this. It was probably 10 years ago. Faith and John came to Lawrence Economic Development Corporation and Dr. Dingus and me and challenged us with the idea, can we set up a high school level entrepreneurial program? And yes, that's what we started working on 10 years ago. So it was John's idea and Faith's idea. I got a hold of Mick, we got the Angel Fund involved, and that was the birthplace of the Dare to Dream program. Now, Faith has a title that's so long it's hard to read. Let's see. She is the Director of the Social Innovation Enterpriseship and also the Director of the Bonovich School of Athens. And I probably mess it up, I do it every time. But what's more impressive than her title is the person herself. So I really appreciate Faith. She's been a friend and a supporter of this program, and she's also a sponsor of this program at the same time. Then you have Eric Braun, which was supposed to be here. Now Chris is representing Shawnee State, and he's their grant manager. There's probably a different title for that, but he represents Shawnee State today. I appreciate him. And then you have Steve Moore, Mr. Steve Moore. Now, Steve Moore came on a few years ago. He's been involved with this at all time. He said he would like to match what Andy Glockner does as a title sponsor. He never wanted to be recognized, never say, I don't want to be part of the title sponsorship. But that's the kind of job or person that Steve Moore is.
I didn't make it the first year. I came the second year. And Andy always reminds me that I'm always 1 year behind.
Oh, you're 1 year behind.
I'll never catch up.
But you're never behind on dollar-wise, so you're cool, right? Steve is the president of WAI, and I'm not even sure what he does because he's got his fingers in so many different businesses I couldn't even begin to describe it. Now, Don Perry sitting here, he's the Senior Vice President of Investment Management for Kentucky Farmers Bank. Now, he has a lot of titles too. He's a Vice President of Investment Management. He's also the Chairman of the Tri-State Angel Investment Group. We are in our third fund, and Don is the Chairman of that. But his most important title today is that he is the lead judge. He has the difficult task of keeping the judges in line, keeping the students on time. So he's a very, very, very important guy. So if he gives you the instructions and tells you what to do, pay close attention, because he can jerk you off the stage, right? And Connor's the big guy in the corner, and he's the bouncer. So I really appreciate everybody being here. I think you're going to be amazed at the quality of the presentations you're going to see today. Don?
Well, good evening. Thanks, Mike. We are very excited, I can tell you, the judges, to see all the teams and see everyone up here presenting in front of us tonight. Let me give you a few last-minute instructions. You have 5 minutes to present. At 4 minutes, I will hold a finger up. That means you have 1 minute left. Once that 1 minute has expired, Mike was pretty accurate. I will yank you off the stage. No, we're going to try to stay on time. And then we'll follow it up with probably 3 minutes or so, 4 minutes of questions, and then it's going to be very quick on to the next group of presenters. So very much looking forward to seeing the presentations, and just a great program that we have here. Thanks to all the sponsors that are here, Andy, Steve. You all are tremendous, and without you all, we couldn't do this. Obviously, the time that Mike and Nick put into this is tremendous, and as you all know, all of your teachers and parents and others that have supported you. So a big thanks to everyone that has been a part of this. And with that said, let's get this thing started.
Okay, can I bring the diamond up on stage, please?
In 2018, the Williamsburg Little League softball team made history as the first team in Ohio, girls or boys, to win a World Series title. As a player on that team, I can tell you how much this sport can bring the entire community together. My name is Madison Tapia.
I'm Haley Collier.
I am Jake Darling. We are engineering students from Williamsburg High School. Growing up in this area, my family has visited Noble Family Farms annually. Although the farm continues to grow and expand every year, the first problem that we are trying to solve is the need for an attraction which is suitable for older ages. We also feel that people in our area are looking for fun, entertaining things to do, and stay active while doing them. There are several people in the Portsmouth area who are trying to work hard and improve our county and would like to create something that would continue to attract people to our tri-state area.
Our solution to these problems is the diamond. If you love to hear the crack of the bat and friendly competition, then the diamond is your destination. As shown in this 3D drawing, our plan is to have targets of different score values placed throughout the open field. Using the natural slope of the land, as the baseballs are hit, they will roll to the back corner of the land into a container for an easy retrieval. We will build dugouts for players to play together. Each dugout will contain a batter's box, a home plate, a tee, and a bench for players to hang out and wait their turn at bat. Players will be given the option for different games, which include hitting baseballs and aiming for targets to successfully score points. Players will keep score on a score sheet for friendly competition. Each group of players will be assigned a dugout that contains baseballs of the same color to make it easier to recognize when the ball successfully hits the target. Baseballs will be purchased by the bucket or by the garbage can full, depending on the length of play. Bats will be provided, but players are welcome to bring their own if they would like. The diamond will be located at Noble Family Farms in Medford, Ohio, which is already an established agritourism business in our area. We plan to build on the back corner of the land in the top right. With our team and families completing the initial labor, we have calculated our startup costs for equipment, supplies, and materials to be just over $10,000. The admission price will be $10 per bucket of baseballs or $40 per garbage can full. With the prices that we have chose, we are estimating to make about $300 to $400 a day.
Our target customers would be anyone ages 4 to 104 who want a fun experience where baseball meets entertainment. People who have never swung a bat to entertaining the people will all enjoy the diamond because it was fun, casual, and non-intimidating.
Noble Family Farms is beginning their 9th season in the farm this year. They have several attractions for children under the age of 13, but are in need of an attraction to bring in teens and adults. We have spoken to them about our idea, and they are excited about the prospect of having something for the older siblings to do while the younger siblings continue to use things such as the ball pit, the corn pit, the hill slides, and the pedal carts, which are currently their big attractions. So while the diamond can be fun for any age, it also helps solve Noble Family Farms by producing a demographic that will help bring in the teenagers to give them something to do. Our attraction will also help bring back some of the families that feel that they have outgrown some of the attractions on the farm but have loved to visit each year.
The competition that we think the diamond will be facing is batting cages in places like Topgolf. Batting cages are meant to strengthen hitting skills, but they limit you with the space available. We take hitting baseballs to the next level. As for Topgolf being competition, the closest one is like 2 hours away and is of course a different sport. So while we have a similar style, we feel our customer base will attract many people to the tri-state area.
Our upcoming milestones will be to begin construction this spring and summer by planting grass seed and building targets and dugouts. We plan to open fall 2022 when the farm opens for their business. So because of this timeline, we need to begin ordering supplies such as baseballs, tees, and any other things to build the targets. Any money we might win from this competition, along with meeting with local businesses to ask if they would like to sponsor that can be advertised on the dugouts, will help us to offset some of these construction and offset some of the costs.
Our marketing strategy to generate interest will be posted on social media, as well as hand out flyers at local events such as Little League Opening Day parades and ceremonies, Portsmouth River Days Parade, and similar events in the tri-state area.
We can't wait to see you crush it at the Diamond.
We will now take any questions that you may have.
So have you surveyed the families who attend Noble Family Farms to see whether they would bring their older kids that are interested?
We actually have talked to several of their customers, their regular customers that come every year, and they all said that that is a great idea, especially the ones that have been coming since the beginning, because they said that their older children don't want to come with them as much because they feel like they just sit there and walk around. Whereas if they had this to do, they said that their children would really like to go, especially like the dads and stuff. The dads and older kids can go and hit some baseballs while their children are doing the little kid stuff.
So what about your relationship with Noble Farms? Have you talked to them about, I know you talked to them, but are you buying property from them? Are you leasing property from them? How does that relationship work?
So we have sat down and spoke with them, and they said that it would be more of us renting the land. So they have a portion in the back corner of it, and then that area of land we will rent from them, so that will be a cost that we would have to pay back to them. But they are also up for the idea because it provides that extra business for them as well.
So your $10,000 startup cost doesn't necessarily take into account what you may have to rent?
Well, they said that, not necessarily, but they said that we will work that out as closer to that.
Okay.
Have you thought about joining like a consortium? Like if you join a museum, like COSI, for example, you can get into other museums. Have you thought about reaching out to other things like this, or are there even other things like this?
There are no other things like the diamond that we have done, but we have also looked into seeing in the future if this does become a big thing, then maybe we can find other agritourism and farms and family farms that we could reach into and maybe partner and do something with their land.
Yeah, right.
All right. Thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you.
Up next is Biker's Light. Come on up.
In 2019, America saw 850 biker deaths involving a crash between a biker and an automobile. Our product, the Biker's Light, will help by providing visibility for the biker. My name is Jerry Zhang.
My name is Levi Newman. My name is Caleb Suzy. We're students from the engineering class from Wheelersburg High School.
This idea is to help increase safety for bikers, and this is especially true in areas of high vehicle traffic and in areas of low visibility. Our solution is a projector that is able to be charged through kinetic energy produced from pedaling, and this will make this product self-sufficient. Our product, as you can see by the example image, would be a small projector attachment at the back of the bike, about near the tailgate, and this projector will portray one of these four images: a stop sign, left arrow, right arrow, or a green diamond, so that drivers who are nearby are able to see what the biker is doing, and also so that the biker can be seen by drivers, especially at night.
The product itself is a switch and a projector that will be connected to a Raspberry Pi to project the signs that were on the back of the biker. Initially, we would like to display our product to workout facilities like the Portsmouth Life Center or an area of YMCA. We also plan to target cycling groups such as TOSRV, the Tour of Scioto River Valley, and Connex and Friends of Portsmouth. They all see a demand for this product, and we would also include an initial focus on any other cycling organization in the tri-state area, and would move on to more urban areas such as Ashland and Huntington.
The cost for this product we plan to sell for $49.99. This product would cost $20 to manufacture, and we would begin with using a 3D printing, and this would be through the use of plastic. And later on, we'd like to switch to a more cheaper alternative method of injection molding. And to get word out about this product, we would like to use social media, fitness expos, cycling events, and school sport events.
One notable product that is similar to the Biker's Light is the project idea called the Safety. However, one of the functions of our product is a kinetic energy converter that would be attached to the pedals or the wheel that will take the energy provided by the biker and store it into electrical energy used by the bike to make it environmentally friendly.
The first part of this product would be, of this project would be to create a model through the use of 3D software. And once a model is created, we would go around to areas like the previously mentioned Life Center and see if they are willing to sell our product. And while we're doing this, we would then also try and create a working prototype that meets our standards. And with adequate funding, we would be able to produce more of these. And through feedback of the customers, we would be able to fix some issues that customers might have with this product.
We are now accepting questions.
Sorry, we're trying to decide here. So as a person who uses hand signals that I think no one knows, I think this is a pretty interesting, I think it's like this and this and this. Learning the Boy Scouts have always been cool. So the stuff you had in there looks really great. A Raspberry Pi is like, what, $30, something like that. I was trying to get a sense of how you arrived at the $50, because it seems like you've got some great stuff, and I'm not unconvinced that a person wouldn't pay more for it given the safety issues. I mean, it seems like a really great product, but I'm just curious how you got it to $50.
We have a current price breakdown. We have $2 for the 3D printed case. We have $6 for the Raspberry Pi, $2 for the switch that would be attached to the handlebars, $4 for the generator, $2 for wiring, and $4 for the lamp. And currently with the area that we have of profit within the $30, we have a lot of room to work with our manufacturing costs. And the prices of the Raspberry Pis differ like tremendously really on how new it is and stuff like that.
I guess I'd say the follow on, if this keeps going, Shawnee State has a plastics program and you might be able to figure out a partnership with them because I know they do some different types of molding. So if you get to that stage, then look us up.
Thank you.
So I know that you're all engineers, and I'm the daughter of an engineer, so I know that you guys like to innovate in the moment. So I'm going to ask you to do that. So I'm a runner. And when I saw this, I do run on dark roads, and this is awesome. So if you were to think about the next market, let's say that this was fabulously successful, how would you make it work for runners?
We would most likely make it where it'd be possibly an attachment to something like a belt or something that would overall just strap to you, and that would still be able to project on your back, and it'd most likely be some type of controller you hold in your hand or one that's attached to the belt.
And the kinetic energy?
For that, we would most likely switch to purely based on a battery or a chargeable battery. And so that would be one disadvantage of this product for a runner, but it can still be able to use, it can still be used for its intended purpose.
She's pretty fast. She could probably use wind.
I was hoping you'd say shoes, but anyway, okay.
So on the manufacturing side, what is your vision for that? Is that something that you're looking to outsource, or are you looking to try to do that? And so what are your startup costs? What is the dollar that you're looking for to launch?
That would really depend on the type of numbers we have coming in for the demand of this product, how many people are looking to buy this immediately when they hear about it. And with that, we can have an estimated price. And to begin with, it'd most likely be us three putting it together, as it still would be a smaller product and be able to be handed. We can hand it. We'll be able to take care of it easily, I guess you could say.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you all. All right, next up is Intensify Electricity. Come on up.
I'm Xander Rollins.
I'm Gabe Roof.
And I'm Riley Burnett. And we are Intensify Electricity.
So, as most of you know, electricity is quickly becoming the future. And we've all had to think about the future of our area. And we want to solve this problem of there being nearly no electric charging stations in our area, and more specifically, the area of Portsmouth, Ohio. Electric cars are the future. And as they come in, we're going to have to add more charging stations instead of adding more gas stations into our area. Lowering fossil fuels and advancing the future of the tri-state area is what we are here to do.
These charging stations need to be put into place because there's a rising number of electric cars. We are already seeing companies like General Motors, and more specifically Chevy, pledging to be all electric by 2035. They pledge to have all their light duty and SUVs all electric by 2035, which is what 47.4% of Americans drive. Practically half of Americans drive SUVs. Then 14,530 electric cars are already in the tri-state area, and this is projected to grow by 50% every year. So next year there will be 7,000 new cars, or 21,000 in total. Then the year after that there will be 31,000. So it's going to exponentially grow, and it is inevitable that soon all cars are going to be all electric. So we need to go ahead and supply the tri-state area with electric cars. Our customers will primarily be people in the tri-state area or people passing through the tri-state area. We want to give them places to charge their cars that are fun and convenient and efficient, because most of the time charging stations aren't at convenient places. They're at such an AT&T in New Boston, whereas we would have them at restaurants where you're going to spend ample amount of time.
So, speaking of the cost, gas costs has went up quite a bit. So we're trying to find an alternative. For our charging station, it costs 44 cents per kilowatt, and it costs our business 14 cents per kilowatt every hour. For the charger itself, it costs $659, and for the dryer outlet to supply the power, it costs $3,500. So, competition. As we know, our area is pretty technologically behind, and we're looking to revitalize it and bring Portsmouth into the future. So we don't have very much competition right now. As mentioned before, we have 2 charging stations in New Boston, Ohio at the AT&T. But let's be real here. Charging a car takes a while, and what are we going to do? Play on the display phones? No, of course not. What we're looking to do is put our charging stations around businesses and restaurants where people can spend an ample amount of time. When it comes to the milestones we are looking to partner with Smith Family Restaurants, where we will see how much we will make and plan to grow at their further locations. Partnerships at places like movies, restaurants, malls can also help us exponentially grow. Our sponsorship could also have a promise of upfront money, which will also be good for our company. Besides a parking spot at a business and money for the supercharger, we don't need any other resources.
There will need to be maintenance every other year, but that can be expected with any sort of machine, just like a car charger. Furthermore, it only costs about $100, which will be paid by our profit in kilowatts per hour. However, this can also be a good thing, because it will give us the opportunity to hire the people in our community. We would like to win this competition with enough money to start our highly profitable business, or with enough to start the dream. Once we receive however much money we can use all these winnings to make our first station, or partner with Smith Family Restaurants to help us pay. Once either of these happen, we can promote our business and watch social media grow through our company and sit back and see what results happen. Once that is done, we can pay off the business and find other future owners that can help us expand with our idea. Then from there, we can repeat this process and grow until we reach our desired goal of electrifying the future.
Any questions?
So what is the goal right now? What do you see? How much? I mean, we all know where we're at the moment, but what is your plan to? What do you think is realistic right now for this population? How many charging stations are there?
Our first goal is to implement one at Buffalo Wild Wings because it's at where there's movies and there's 2 restaurants and it's more of a high traffic area. So that would be where we would first implement our charging. Then we'd see how well it's done, and then we will partner with further Smith's restaurants because they're all over the place in Huntington or just around Ohio and the tri-state area, and grow at those locations. Then potentially movies or malls that we could get sponsorships by.
What's the current usage base? How many electric cars are owned in the region you're considering covering in this plan?
14,530 are in the tri-state area. So which would be where we're mainly implementing our charging stations.
And how fast do you think that'll grow?
It's projected to grow by 50% every year. So next year there will be 7,000 new electric car owners. So it would be 21,000. So eventually it'll exponentially grow. But once we get to where Chevy and Ford and any other car companies, like all their cars are electric, that's when it's going to skyrocket because people are going to be buying new cars and we need to supply them for places to charge them.
Who is your competition?
Mainly around here, it's the AT&T, but we said it's not really a fun and convenient place. But there's also some in New Boston, I said, Chillicothe, Gallipolis, and Huntington, but they're very scattered in between, and if they do have them, they're at a place like AT&T rather than what we're targeting.
Have you all considered how you're going to articulate to the public why they should use your charging stations for this event-based or lifestyle model?
Yeah, well, if you're going on a trip and say you're traveling through Ohio, you get hungry and you need to charge your car, or you just want a little bit more range, you'll be more apt to go to our restaurants, which is helping the restaurants and us, and through Smith's, which is a well-known company around here and also growing in North Carolina and potentially Florida. It will grow, and through their publicity, they might be more apt to come to us.
Also, with the younger generation that's currently around right now, they look at more influence such as social media or commercials. And if we grow on those sort of platforms, then that'll make it easier for us to grow our company and for them to see that name and be, oh, there's that company. So they'll be familiarized with us already.
Is your company then to make it easier to make these things happen? Is that what you're selling, basically, ease of use and your understanding of the regulations and how to make a charging station appear?
Yeah, we're trying to make it easier for people to actually want to get it, because gas is easier because you just go fill up your car and it takes a couple minutes, whereas this takes the average is 181 miles of range, which would take about 3 hours to charge your car from 0 to the full amount. So yeah, I don't know, it just makes it easier. And
I guess I was thinking even easier for the Schmidt restaurant group. They just kind of outsource. If they want to go electric, you're the electric people. Yes. To make it easy for them to.
Our plan is to also make it easy on their team and make it as cost efficient as possible for both us and them.
Yeah. Which further down the line, we'd like to put solar panels so we can run at carbon neutral, which would also help the business because we could supply them with some energy. But that'd be later on down the line when we become more successful.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Well, keep that should be the next line. Try, go ahead and try it. Practice before we go to apply.
Thanks, Steve.
There you go. Thanks, Steve.
Hi, I'm Riley Rayner.
I'm Joanna Angus.
And I'm Erin Smith. And this is Heck Yeah. So, we have decided that there is a common problem among many of our peers and young adults. And the problem is we are not equipped with the right life skills. So, we decided that our solution would be we would have an outside of class home economics class. We sent out a survey to our area and we had 100% say that they would take at least one class. So these classes are not only needed, but they are wanted.
We want our classes to be available to everyone, but our advertisements would target high school students and young college students because we feel like they need the skills the most.
So any successful business needs to have a marketing strategy. We want to be able to send out advertisements to school around Scioto County. In order to do this, we have already created flyers to be able to email principals to inform students. We will also create a social media presence and a website so that students will learn not only from their high schools but also from their phones. We will charge $10 to attend on days we provide food and $5 on the days without food. This is because it costs between $4.50 to $5 to provide a box lunch for a student, and it will cost approximately $3 to provide supplies. Our estimated profit from our first class, once we have deducted the cost for food and for supplies, will be about $190. So when we were doing our research, we started looking for competition, like what groups are holding home economics classes, and we found that no one is doing it. Schools have taken it out of their curriculum because they believed it was being taught at home, but sadly that is not the reality. A nation that is providing home economics classes in their high schools is Japan, and they have seen immense success. We believe that American students also need to have these benefits.
We plan to hold our first life skills class in April at the Scioto County Career Technical Center. Our first class would teach you how to change a tire, check and change your oil, and plug a hole in your tire. After our classes, we would have regular team meetings to plan future sessions and speakers. We plan to hold 5 classes, one approximately every 3 weeks in a semester.
This is our next steps slide. So after we win this competition and get money to start up our classes, we will first get more sponsors to be able to help grow our classes, and then we will also advertise to students through popular social media outlets such as TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Once the word has gotten out and we have students signed up for our classes, we will actually hold our events at our already secured venue of the Scioto County Career Technical Center.
These are the businesses we have lined up to potentially be a sponsor. The businesses with the green check marks are the businesses who've already agreed to help us sponsor, such as Buffalo Wild Wings, Matt's Detailing, Potter's House, and Carter's Company. These are the people who have already agreed to help us volunteer for sewing, changing a tire, cooking, checking your oil, and finances.
So our first class will be caring for your car. So you see that tire right there? Do you guys know how to change it or plug it in the hole? Because I don't either. And we will show you how to do that in our first class. Our next one will be managing your money, which we will do filing taxes, budget, write checks, balance a checkbook, and understand credit cards to pay bills and also loans. Our next one is self-defense and safety, which includes protecting against predators, nighttime security, fire precautions, tornado precautions, and internet safety. Then we will have sewing, which we will show mending, hemming, sewing on a button, and fixing a buttonhole. Lastly, we will have care for the food, which we will teach students how to prepare a nutritious meal. Then we show them the kitchen safety, cooking skills, and nutrition importance.
And we are
Heck Yeah!
Let's be the generation that stops the lack of life skills. At this time, we welcome any questions.
So as the generation that was forced to go to home ec, I'm really excited to see you guys so excited about it. And I'd like to know your origin story. How did you come up with this? Why did you decide this was needed?
Okay, so this actually, I started because I was talking to a couple of my peers and I was like, yeah, I don't even know how to sew on a button because I actually had a hole in my shirt. And they were like, can't you just sew that up? I was like, I don't know how. And so then we just started talking and we had a conversation and I was like, yeah, I really don't know any of these life skills. And I was like, and it happened because there was a gap. The young adults, they never got taught these skills. So then they could never teach us, which is where it comes from. The parents can't teach the children because the parents never learned. So I think this would be an amazing idea. Because I personally am excited to learn this.
So when you talked about your survey, so how did you do that? How many people did you survey? How did you kind of get that information out and how did you select the classes?
So
the roster that you laid out.
We sent out the survey to just students in our high school and junior high, and we asked them like their grade level and what they knew how to do, what they didn't know how to do, and then we just asked them if there was a class outside of school hours, would you want to attend it? And we gave them all the options, and those are the ones they did pick. And we surveyed, I think we got a little over 100.
It was 153.
153 is how many we got to take the survey.
Have you thought about partnering with groups that do this kind of stuff, sort of like the Boy Scouts and 4-H, and I'm just kind of making this up, but there are some groups who kind of do this. Have you thought about being like a group that kind of shows up at the 4-H meeting and knocks everyone out on their sewing thing that they did?
Well, that's a great question. Honestly, I think we could look further into that.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Tailback, come on up.
All right, as Mike made it clear, all the judges up here, they're businessmen and women. Well, by week, we're businessmen, but on the weekend, we're tailgating. Here's the clicker. Well, what's the problem? You're tailgating. You're tailgating down, you're sitting down. You hunched over, all your back starts to hurt. You lean back, you fall on the bed. So what's the solution? The tailbacker. If I'm asking, what is the tailbacker? The tailbacker is an easy to deploy tailgating solution. Convenient storage for how flat it is. It's a cushioned backrest for your tailgate. If you look on the model, the rubber grommets on the end are to protect your finish. It fits in between the tailgate and the bed of your truck. It goes in simply, sits there, you lean back, it's nice and comfy.
So the market. The tailbacker has a very wide and expansive market. The trucking industry is huge, and so is the sporting industry. Between 20 and 50 million Americans tailgate every single year, and in 2018 alone, tailgating was estimated at $20 billion in consumer spending. Now that's a lot of money if you ask me. It is estimated that 96% of people, when asked, said they would purchase our products. So you know they would buy it.
All right, right here it says, this is a great idea. Heck, I'd buy one. Rashad Scott, 2008 NCAA discus champion. We know him in our track program. He comes in and helps us with our lifting. He stands at a whopping 6'5", 285 pure muscle. So you know our product is big boy tested and big boy approved.
So the customers. Our target audience for this product would be tailgate partygoers and anyone who enjoys anything trucking related. The tailbacker makes everything trucking related so much more comfortable and so much easier.
Here, this is our very own principal, Mr. McCorkle. This is sitting on just the exoskeleton of our thing, the skeleton, my bad. Where he is sitting on notepad, he said it was somewhat comfortable even then. Here, he looks how awkward, his back's all arched. He's actually doing a stress test, putting pressure on the legs to make sure they can hold the weight of a full-grown man.
So, our competition. Our chief competition will be the tailgater, as seen above, and there's our tailgate couch, as seen below. Now, what are the drawbacks with these two items? Well, there's a tailgate couch, for example, is going to have a strap run underneath your tailgate. Now, when you're strapping underneath your tailgate, if you went out and just bought a brand new $50,000 Ford F-150, you're going to run the risk of possibly scratching off the paint or denting it. And specifically with the tailgater, its biggest drawback is the fact that it will actually have to be screwed in directly into your tailgate. You don't want to be screwing in on your tailgate, as I said earlier, if you just went out and bought a brand new Ford F-150. If you went out and spent $50,000 on a truck, you don't want to run the risk of damaging or denting it in any way, shape, or form. That's why we have the tailbacker, where you can simply just go kerplunk. So, our pricing per unit and retail. The overall cost it takes to make one tailbacker is $35. We plan on having it retail at $50. Now you might be asking yourself, where exactly are we going to be selling the tailbacker? Well, we're going to go directly to tailgating events. We're going to go directly to our customers and sell directly to them. And after that, we'll make a website, sell online, and eventually go into major retailers. So our strategic milestones. Well, our first strategic milestone will be the first 1,000 units sold. At that point, we plan on putting all profit generated from the sale of the tailbacker into maximizing production. And our second strategic milestone will be the first 5,000 units sold. At that point, 75% of profit generated will go directly into maximizing production, and the other 25% will go into national advertising.
Our next steps, we can't make these things out of thin air. We need capital. You can't start a business without money. We were asking for $50,000 to start our business. You're probably wondering, that's a lot of money. But when you think about it, businesses can't start off with nothing. We need machinery to obviously more efficiently manufacture these, and the cost of materials. And as you read earlier, it was $35 to produce one, but with the machinery needed to mass produce these more effectively, we can lower our price to produce and increase our profit margin. So in conclusion, the tailbacker is a very quintessential part of your tailgating experience. We have tested this in models of trucks from a 2002 Silverado to a 2004 F-150, all the way up to a 2018 Toyota Tundra. And it has fit flawlessly in each model, and it's set perfectly to cushion your back. So as I like to say, the tailbacker goes in really easily with just one simple kerplunk. Now, is there any questions?
So on the manufacturing side, so you talk about the equipment, $50,000 is a big number for a startup.
Yes.
Have you looked at, so my assumption is there's not a lot of patented or proprietary information in your design. So my question is, there are manufacturers that have equipment and have those kinds of infrastructure already in place. Have you considered not necessarily having to buy the equipment yourself, but taking your product to a manufacturer and let them, they'll charge you, of course, but the difference between what you can sell it at versus what they can.
We have considered outsourcing, and obviously in the beginning, when money is short, that would probably be the best way. But our goal to eventually be 100% in-house. And you said the machinery, I'm going to be honest with you. These flattens, I did these in my driveway with an 8-pound sledgehammer. I put my muscle in it. But for our final model, it would be done with hydraulic press to have a nice, clean, flattened surface. And then also, one thing I forgot to mention, if you don't mind me adding, is that we'd be having a weatherproof version. I don't know if the question of durability would be coming into play, but there will have other models, a weatherproof version with a more protective cover.
I'm assuming logos and other
Yes,
things.
oh yes, it will be customizable.
Yeah. Other questions?
So tell me about your origin story. How'd you come up with this?
Oh, that's a good story, actually. I was at my little brother's flag football practice. I was sitting in the bed of my truck with my mother, who was in the crowd, and I sat down, and funny enough, my butt fell in said crack this would go into. And I fell straight on my back. And I sat there, I reached back, and I found a stick. So a stick that fell in the bed of my truck, I put it in the wedge, and I leaned against it. I mean, it broke, because it was a tiny stick, but it gave me the idea that spawned the tailbacker.
So, the patent thing was sort of mentioned. Is there anyone that's doing something that also incorporates keeping your feet up? The older I get and the more mad.
My version eventually. But first of all, this is the core model. This will be the basis of our company.
Let me make one more suggestion. You've got the back cover, but now what about your tail? So what if you had another cushion there that folded up and then boom, it comes out. Now you've got a cushion for your bottom and your back.
Well, right now, mainly this is just going for simplicity of manufacturing. Because once you add things, and you have to have hinges and detents. And right now, this is just to be Easy, simple. As we said, it's a kerplunk and you're done.
Yeah, good idea. Any other questions, Joe? Good idea, guys.
Thank you.
All right, Handmade, come on up.
Hello everybody, I'm Sadie.
I'm Garrett Wilburn.
I'm Audrey, and we're introducing Handmade by Sadie.
You all look like good quality people, and I'm sure just like you want the items of your life to be of quality too.
So we have a question for you. When was the last time you received something handmade? Like when your mom made you a birthday cake from scratch, or your daughter picked you a bouquet of wildflowers and thought of you. How did this act of kindness make you feel? To receive a gift that somebody took time out of their day to make for you. A gift made especially for you. These moments make us feel loved, wanted. It gives us that cozy little feeling inside knowing that somebody cares. And that's what we're here to do. Offer thoughtful and personalized cards for all ages that bring family and friends closer together. So let me tell you a little bit about our small business. Handmade by Sadie started as a small hobby of mine. I would gift my cards to family and friends, and they enjoyed receiving them so much that they wanted to bring that joy to their loved ones. So after many requests, I started selling.
People are so appreciative of anything handmade in this day and time, because in this day and age, everything is being mass-produced.
This is a problem in our new industry, and the quality items we are getting is getting lost along the way. There's no love in a generic store-bought card that's been given to thousands of other people.
These are special moments in people's lives that we celebrate, that we're here to help with. Bringing joy, love, and quality to the special cards that we give to you, that you give to your special people, because we know that you wouldn't give them anything but the best. As you look at the screen, you can see our variety. We can do any card from fishing to video games. We can do anything you want.
Maybe it's not the theme of the card for you, but you're celebrating something that people usually don't send a card for. You may not be able to find this in the store, but you can call us.
We've had orders for friend anniversary cards, I miss you cards, and even a lady celebrating her pet chicken's birthday. We've had cards for everybody at any stage in their life, even at your pet chicken's birthday.
We have one repeat customer, however, who says that she can never find Father's Day card with minimal writing. She wants to put her own personalized message into the card, and she comes to us because we allow her to do that and so much more. From message to design, we can do it all.
We sell single cards for $5, packs of 10 for $45, and packs of 20 are priced at $80. While this may seem high, compared to our competition, our card is a steal for its quality. This Hallmark card costs $4.21 at Walmart after tax. This card is basic and can be found practically anywhere.
For only 79 cents more, you get customization, love, and quality put into your cards, all while shopping local. Our only competition is Hallmark right now, and we have no local competitors.
Our target market is different during different times of the year. For instance, during Valentine's Day, we sold equally to both men and women. But as women are usually the relationship managers, we oftentimes find them buying more cards during the remainder of the year.
At Handmade by Sadie, we are 100% biodegradable, and our products can be completely recycled. Big corporations punch out their cards and throw away the excess. At Handmade by Sadie, we pride ourselves in a no-scrap policy. Our cards practically sell themselves. Over the last year, we've sold 300. Our annual sales have generated $1,500 in revenue, and our annual cost is about $475, leaving us with $1,025 in profit. As you can see, this gives us around a 70% profit margin.
We have promoted our cards on a local TV station, My Town TV, and are currently reaching customers through social media and our website that features pre-made cards. Our cards also sit on the shelves of a local hair salon called The Hair Loft. But even with all this exposure, I believe that our most notable act is that our card designs have received state recognition. Last year, our designs got third they won the Kentucky Regional Art Show and got third in the Kentucky State Art Show. Our future business goals. We plan to expand into other markets through our design aspect, until eventually we become a design agency. We'll be a one-stop shop for all your design needs. Whether you're throwing a party or you're decorating your home, you can come to us and work with an artist off of our team. We'll help you create a design that you can put on any product. Unlike an individual party planner who has to go store to store to find coordinating items that always end up being a few shades off, we'll make everything in shop, ensuring that it matches. As you can see, we have already started expanding into care packages that come with a card that matches the design, along with our baked goods that have already been on the screen. When we're making our cards, we consider them a piece of art, not just a card. So when we make them, we use elements of art and principles of design to guide your eye across the card.
With our designs and your endorsement, we can go a long way. Join Handmade by Sadie to bring the joy and love and quality back into the gifts you are giving. And we have a few sample cards if you would like some.
Are you up?
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
Beautiful designs, y'all. Do you have any desire, have looked into like expanding to or being on like online markets like Etsy and trying to find ways to scale that up, like more mass communication? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We've looked into Etsy, but like where we're not adults yet, we actually can't get on there. So that will be something we do in the future.
But like she said earlier, we have a social media account that we're trying to get out with.
And we have a website.
We also have a website.
Awesome.
So where do you, sorry, go on.
Did your cost include your labor, the time you put into
No,
making the
it didn't
cards?
have labor in it. That was just the basic cost to make the card.
So have you given that some consideration with regards to how much time it takes to make an individual card?
Yes, I have.
And when you bake that labor cost into your overall, what kind of profit margin do you have?
We make about like $1 out of a $5 card after you take labor out.
So just given that you have about a 20% margin, that's a little light. So you need to consider how to get more margin in there. It's probably going to require you to raise your price.
And that's what we want to do with your endorsement. We plan on buying a high-speed paper cutter, and it'll be computer programmable, and it will actually raise our production 3 times.
So that was really my focus on capacity that you have right now. I mean, I'm assuming with your sales, you guys are getting close to your capacity, right?
Yeah.
So this investment is about expansion.
Right, it is.
I mean, these are really nice, and the fact that you've already made money, I think, is really impressive as well. Have you thought about? I guess a couple things. Have you thought about working with like maybe the folks who intake and outtake a lot of people, for example, colleges and recovery programs in the community? And I guess it would be a really neat way to welcome someone into some of those initiatives. The other question I had was, I think the cards are really good, and there's a lot of economy of scale. As you get better at making cards, you learn things.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to make cakes?
Well, what we want to do is we're going to expand off of our design aspect. So eventually we'll have like a team of design artists, and you can come to us and we'll design it all for you. So like when you're planning a party and you have to go store to store to like find decorations and they don't perfectly match and like the shades are off.
Okay.
So we'll be able to do all that. So we'll need baked goods. We'll need someone there to make the sweets that we're going to provide.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, judges. Have you ever been working out and got overheated? Well, this is Landon, and he's here to demonstrate that for us.
8, 9, 10. Jeez, I'm about to finish this last set. I'm getting really overexhausted.
Have you ever tried Cool Heads?
No, what is Cool Heads?
Cool Heads is what I use when I'm working out or exercising. It allows for me to stay cooler longer and finish my workout.
That's right, Kylie. Cool Heads is a great product. I used Cool Heads while I was in Cancun. And that 95-degree weather, well, let me tell you, it was hot. I don't even know if I could make it without Cool Heads. As you will see on the future slides, I was able to run along the beach, take Zumba classes, and even work out without wanting to quit or getting overheated.
Now, judges, have you ever been working out and got overheated?
And this made you want to quit your workout?
Well, we have a solution for you.
We are
Cool Heads.
So one of the biggest problems we face in society today is heat exhaustion. And nearly up to 700 people die from it each year. And when athletes are working out, or people are even working at home in their garden or cutting grass, they tend to get overheated really easily.
So our headband has a cooling agent that you just simply pop, shake, and wear it on the go, and this will keep you cool. Like I said, our headband has a cooling pouch that you simply insert it into the back of the headband, which lays on the back of your neck, which according to medical professionals is the fastest way to cool down your body. This way, with our product, you can keep cool.
Our product is a simple and stylish cooling headband for athletes of any age. For example, to activate our insert, you simply take one of our inserts, squeeze until you hear a small pop, shake it, and insert it into the back of your headband to cool your head instantly.
Our product is going to sell. Nearly 55.5% of high school students play the sport, and 65.9 million Americans work out daily. We've already made 3 sales, and 100% of our customers came back to us telling us that our product is effective and almost cooled them instantly.
So here are some replies from a few of our customers. One of our customers directly stated when working out, they don't have to take as many breaks, and they were able to finish our full workout. Another customer stated that when on the court or in the middle of a game, they don't have to be subbed out as much, and they can finish.
So you may ask, what is the problem? Well, the problem is mostly for athletes. Our customers would love our product for many reasons. It will keep them cool, and they can also customize their headband, and it will keep them stylish, and they can gear up their sportswear. Other fans and other customers, for example, like fans going to go watch a sports event, or construction workers, or people working at their home, they can wear our headband and they can keep them cool and they can stay out in the heat much longer.
Regarding our market, we've actually already started to build an online face. We currently have a website with our URL posted above. We also have an Instagram and Facebook with over 100 followers on each platform. This allows for our customers to have a better understanding and learn what our product truly is and be able to access our website with just a click of a button.
This next slide breaks down the cost of our product. For our headband and 5 inserts, it costs us $6.96 to make, but we're charging the customer $20. And then for a customized headband and 5 inserts, it costs us $7.02 to make, but we're charging the customer $22. And then for 10 inserts by themselves, it costs us $2.80 to make, but we're charging the customer $5.
Our biggest competition is Frog Talk Snap Pals. This is a product that you have to dip in water and snap. And unlike ours, you can't wear theirs on a basketball court. Ours is also different because it's not only made with recycled plastic waste, but it's been tested and lasted over 2 hours.
So to get our product on the go, we will simply market, advertise, and meet with company representatives. We have already met with different athletic administration, like coaches, athletes, and even get this, Olympians. We would also like to spread our product in many different paths and ways. We would like to set up at road races, 5Ks, cross-country meets, and even track meets to get our product out there and globally known. So we hope to see you at the next road race.
To supply the demand of our product, we would simply take any money that we make from this competition and any of our profit to increase our staff numbers, upgrade any machinery that we would need to produce our product at a more efficient rate. We're currently making our product within our own home, so we would like to upgrade to a warehouse We'd also like to meet with any investors within our area to get a better understanding of how we can truly grow our company.
We are
Cool heads. We will now be taking questions.
Are they one size fits all, or do you make different sizes?
Right now, we only have one size. We do have an elastic in the back to hopefully fit a majority of heads, but for example, like a 5-year-old, we obviously wouldn't be able to fit their head yet. That's something that we would be looking to, as we expand, to obviously have more sizes.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, have you thought about making them like really localized? Like sometimes, like Ohio State might sue you or something. You know what I mean? Just,
Right.
but you probably could get a lot more traction with like Green High School as an example, where there wouldn't be the copyright issues and stuff. So just something to think about.
Curious to hear what kind of feedback you guys have gotten from, like you said, you approached some people in athletic programs, but also like what kind of research have you done in medical journals for the implications of your product? Stanford Medicine's starting to like popularize polymer cooling and things like that. So where's your product fall in the variety of approaches?
And like I said, like our product, like it mostly wants to like cool like the head. And so we have talked with like, again, medical professionals, and like they did say like that was the fastest way to cool down your body, the neck. And usually like when you go to like to see like doctors, or like if you are like overheated, they usually put it on your neck. So
Have you thought about medical purposes? Like I've had a headache all day today, and it feels a lot better. Like just with the pressure, and but it's not like bad pressure. It's like the perfect amount. Have you thought about maybe something like that?
We have thought about like a cooling agent, so like if your back's hurting, right, with that icy hot on the back of your thing, cooling and heating helps. So we have thought about where the cooling is on the back of your neck. It could help with headaches or the pain back there in the back of your neck.
So quick question on the manufacturing side, similar to what I've said before. So it doesn't look like there's a lot of high tech in this. I know you're doing it yourself. So again, I'm also assuming there's really nothing here that's patentable or those things. So looking at other manufacturers, people that are doing this kind of product or these kinds of services is probably a better way for you to scale up than trying to get all the infrastructure yourself. I think you launch with yourself and you get in the market, but when I think that's a debate you need to have internally with investment is your dollars spent best creating manufacturing for yourself, or is your dollars spent best marketing and getting your product out and trying to partner with somebody who's probably got the skill sets to do this? Think about that.
So I've never seen a headband like this before. That kind of, did you make these? I mean, are you sewing these? With,
Yeah, we hand sew them. We make the inserts ourselves. Everything is handmade.
Very comfortable.
You're something you actually know how to sew. We need to. You guys could teach some classes for one of the other groups, right?
While you're waiting to hit a T-ball.
We're working all kinds of deals.
Thank you.
Anything else, Joe? It's a very
Thank
good
you all
product.
for
It's very good.
thank you.
All right, Mines, come on up.
Many adolescents in today's generation suffer from a mental illness, but most commonly anxiety. Hi, my name is Veronica Pointer, the CEO.
I'm Annie Piaskowski, the marketing executive.
I'm Angel McCartney, the creative and media team leader.
And we are Mind. Close your eyes, clear your mind, and help us help many. I myself have experienced anxiety on multiple occasions. One time, I walk into my math class and my teacher asks if we're ready for a quiz. I had no clue there was going to be a quiz, and I started having a panic attack. I was crying and I couldn't catch my breath, and this was a time in my life when I was stressed and anxious and didn't have a way to cope.
Our mission is to reduce anxiety naturally. In our generation, which is Generation Z, we suffer most of our anxiety through school, student debt, joblessness, and most importantly, technology. For the past 2 years, we've also had to deal with COVID. Being isolated has impacted our daily interactions and our social habits, which has then increased our feelings of loneliness, anxiety, and depression. According to the American Psychology Association, 9 in 10 Gen Zers, or 91%, suffer from anxiety, and 58% suffer from depression from that anxiety.
Our solution was to create a line of easily portable anxiety relief lotions and lip balms that are infused with essential oils. These lotions and lip balms need no prescription and are an easy way to help reduce anxiety on the go.
Essential oils are extracts from pressed plants such as flowers, leaves, and fruit. When inhaled, the scent travels from the olfactory nerves to the brain, specifically to the amygdala, which is the emotional center of the brain. To apply the lip balm, which I have a sample of right here, you can apply it directly onto your lips or right below your nose to inhale the scent more directly. And to apply the lotion, you can rub it on your hands or below your nose as well. Here on our screen and on the judges' table, you'll see samples of our products. From left to right, we have our Minty Relief, Mild Citrus, and Lavender Lush lip balms. And on the right, we have our same scents, but in our lotion.
We have 3 levels of scents. Minty Relief is our peppermint scent and is the strongest and fastest working. Mild Citrus is the lemon scent and is the medium working scent. And finally, Lavender Lush is our slowest and most gentle working scent.
Our products are completely vegan, cruelty-free, organic, and non-toxic.
Our first product run cost $60 out of pocket, and we've created 24 jars. This included providing the jars, the beeswax pellets, the oils, and the shea butter to make our product. Our prices will be $6 per 3-ounce jar, or $15 for our Mind Combo Pack, which includes 3 of your choice of scents. Our business has been running roughly over the past month. Since we've turned in our slides, we now have 31 customers and 3 returning customers. We have made $336 and a profit of $261.
Although there are other anxiety-reducing products out there, none of them are. Our solution is easy to use and fast-working. As we've done our research, there are 5 main competitors: mints, diffusers, CBD oil, therapy, and health vape inhalers. But none of these are convenient for the customer. For example, mints have too many unnatural sugars, CBD oil has not been tested enough on youth, and you have to be 18 years or older to buy it. Therapy isn't always accessible and can be expensive. Health vape inhalers are easily flammable, and you also have to be 18 years or older to purchase those as well.
We interviewed a variety of people of different ages and different experiences with different anxiety. When interviewing these potential customers, several people stated that our product would be helpful to them. Joe, Margaret, and Shelby all told us about their different experiences with anxiety. All of them said that they would be interested in purchasing our product. After talking to these potential customers, we made a small-scale version of our product. Currently, we have 31 customers, with most of them buying our $15 combo pack. From one of our buyers, she said, "I liked the product. I could tell a difference when I was using it versus when I wasn't. There's nothing I would really change about the product, and I'll definitely be purchasing more."
We started our market test by handing out samples at our school, and later started selling in person and locally at vendor fairs. We have promoted our product through our Instagram, our Etsy shop, and we have an email address so people may contact us with questions. With these platforms, we wish to continue to grow and spread the word about our product so we can increase our sales both locally and through a digital market.
During our next steps, we will continue to market test and improve our products. Next, we'll expand our digital market and sales, and our third step will be to eventually partner with Bath & Body Works. With this partnership, we'll be able to expand to a more global market.
In conclusion, we hope to reduce anxiety naturally in our generation. Close your eyes, clear your mind,
and help us help many. Also, for our judges, we have a reference sheet of our sales data and our ingredient list.
Questions?
So I was actually going to ask about your ingredients, and I haven't looked at your ingredient list yet. But so are they easily accessible? Do you have to purchase them externally, or are they locally available?
As of right now, they're locally available, but as we mentioned in our slides, we have an Etsy. So if somebody wants to order them, we will ship them out to them.
There's also, not only on the reference sheet, but on the bottom of our containers, there is our ingredients.
What would you use the money for first? So if you got the money, what would be the first thing you do with it?
We would probably like to work on our product,
Yeah, and
like the
how
way
much,
that it looks.
and how much we're going to make of the product, because right now a lot that we're working on is the number of products that we're able to make, which is not a lot right now, but we would love to increase that so we're able to increase our sales as well.
So how did you come up with this formulation?
Multiple attempts. There was probably about 3 or 4 attempts where we tested them out and got feedback from our customers, and this was the one that got the most positive feedback, so we went with this one.
Have you all considered how you'll differentiate yourselves from other people, like championing essential oils and these kind of products, which people like, but on bigger marketplaces like Etsy, how do you separate yourself from the crowd?
With ours, most people that use essential oils, it's not for anxiety. Most people just use it as like a candle scent. It's something that people will just use in their homes that they like to use. And not a lot of things that people sell are easily portable. Ours, you can simply fit in a purse or a bag and carry it around with you wherever you go.
The Bath and Body Works, you mentioned that partnership. Is that a conversation that's taking place, or is that just something you're doing?
It's something we wish to happen in the future, because Bath and Body Works is a large company, so we can't walk in there and say, well, we have 31 customers, sell us in your stores. We have to continue to grow for that to become a reality.
All right.
Thank
Good
you
product.
all. Thank you.
Okay, one more round of applause for all of the teams that have gone so far. All right, so we do have about a 10-minute intermission here, so please feel free to grab refreshments, use the restroom. We'll be back at 7:10. Thank you.
We're hanging in there. We're hanging in there. I'm best down here right now. I was joking with the stretching. That's not my fault.
Okay, and to kick us off for the second half, we have Country Boy. Country Boy, come on up.
Have you ever tried to suit up a team in matching gear but only mass produce multiples of 24? Does your family want matching attire for family reunions, Christmas morning pajamas, or that annual family vacation?
Do you cringe when your mother or girlfriend demands you to put on the family's matching t-shirt that does not reflect your style?
It seems we can never find clothing that stands out to us and reflects our own personality.
We'll look no further. We have the perfect quality and unique clothing and accessories. We are Country Boy Apparel, where couture has gone country. Your new go-to place for youthful design for those ball games, spring flings, and social events.
Hello, I'm Brody Stump, and I'm the CEO and founder of Country Boy Apparel.
Hello, I'm Elijah Abbott, and I'm the financial manager.
Gracie Bates is our head of marketing, but she can't do it this time.
Style has always been a big part of American culture. We plan on creating a new style from men and women's point of view, not just one-sided. We offer t-shirts, hoodies, crews, beanies, shorts. You name it, we put vinyl or ink on it.
Our mission is to get into the cricket craze by offering couture designs with male and female perspective and influence to a market segment that has been left untapped. We nurture existing relationships and bonds built through sports and other activities, from the ball field to the brotherhood,
From the field to the fraternity.
from the 17 to sorority. We are growing up and nurturing childhood friendships and establishing a business plan based on those connections and loyal relationships. We have long-standing connections with successful friends who have gone to manage various college organizations. We work with fraternities and sororities that have hundreds of chapters nationally to expand our line. How Country Boy Apparel works. We have customizable prints so we can put on any type of clothing that you would like. We use vinyl to lay on the shirts and sweatshirts and we press it on there. Our cheaper way is ink presses for basic designs in black and white, mostly just letters. And it's 100% washer and dryer safe. Here's the examples. The left one is vinyl, which we can put color in, more complex designs. That's for Kappa Sigma, which we have contracted with for EKU. And ink pressing is more black and white basic designs. The problem is that so many women are designing our own attire with all the bling and bows, and their style bleeds into the designs they create for us. Traditionally, girls dominate the fashion design world. While we generally value girls' opinions, we'd like to have some input. For instance, red has proven to be the most attractive color on the map. It is believed to be a magnet color to attract girls. Two can play this game. Also, college students are paying bookstore prices for the same types of clothing. A college sweatshirt is $70. We have wine taste on beer budgets. Screen print setup fees are expensive, and these products and services don't always meet the expectations for customers.
Our mission is to work with our friends to design unique apparel for their social event. Here you see we designed this shirt for Spring Poker Social. The slogan reads, "We got lucky." We were able to incorporate 3 colors in the design. There's also a design that can be used for all 5 chapters, so as not to limit sales. They can also use this as a fundraiser at formal events in the Myrtle Beach. Our target market are college sports teams, intramural sports, college fraternities and sororities, local businesses, and high school sports teams.
Our marketing strategies are targeting college sports teams, fraternities, and sororities. We have social media accounts on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We will set up vendor booths at college sporting events and frat events.
Our competitors in the clothing business are moms with crickets and small clothing boutiques. Country Boy Apparel is committed to reducing our carbon footprint as a company and a society. There is 13 million tons of textile waste annually, in which 95% can be recycled. We are working on producing products manufactured 100% of recycled materials. We know that there are a lot of t-shirt businesses, but ours is very focused, especially t-shirt business focusing on sales catered to men and women's taste. We plan to use t-shirts made from sustainable material, environment-friendly materials, and potentially supply them to print my threads when the orders are too small for them to make efficiently. We are requesting $6,000 in funds to expand our company. We have already filled orders for the fraternity Pi Kappa Alpha and sent them 30 custom t-shirts, 30 sweatshirts, and 30 beanies. We are also in the process of finalizing a deal with Kappa Sigma at Eastern University.
We sell our t-shirts for $20 with a cost of $6 and a margin of $14. We used a cost-plus method. It is simple and assures profit. We're currently making a profit margin of 70% since we have no overhead. We are in the process of expanding our company. We've already launched our own personal website, market our products on social media platforms, have developed relationships with Print My Threads, and continue to make weekly sales.
Country Boy Apparel is couture gone country, where the new upcoming brand is built off a guy sense of style while also appealing to the female market. We are Country Boy Apparel.
Where couture is gone country. At this time, we'd like to ask any questions.
So I was glad to hear how to pronounce cricket since I didn't get it right. So, these look very appealing, and, I congratulate you on your already have made sales. Given that the cricket opportunity is available to many, I'm wondering how you feel about competition and, how are you going to maintain a market?
We found websites where we can get like t-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff for a lot cheaper, so it makes it easier on us to make a cheaper product for customers to buy. So it's cheaper on us to buy it, like the shirt or the sweatshirt or something, and then it's only like $3 to put like the vinyl or ink on it, and it's cheaper for them, and we can make them quicker.
So you're doing that, you're manufacturing right now?
Yeah, we've already manufactured. We've already sold to Pike.
And you guys are doing that yourselves?
Yeah.
So the additional funds here specifically, you would target additional manufacturing equipment?
Well, we would like to get more crickets and a better press, and then potentially get better like types of clothing. Because right now we're just getting like basic ones that are really cheap. We'd like to get like better material clothing that are better for our customers.
How are you establishing and maintaining your relationships at the colleges?
Well, I know a bunch of buddies that are like go to EKU and go to Georgetown, and I personally know the president at Pi Kappa Alpha and Kappa Sigma, so they're keeping us in touch. And anytime like they need orders for the new pledges coming in, they contact me and see if I'm able to make an order that's small enough for me to be able to produce it for them.
All right, we're good.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, game day eats, come on up.
Hi, I'm Ray.
I'm Jake.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Cooper. And we are Game Days.
Are you a parent who would never have to worry about concession stand duty again?
Are you a parent who has had to take charge of concessions and beg other parents to work?
Would you rather be slanging nacho cheese or enjoying the game?
Well, we have a solution for you. Getting people can be very stressful, and getting people to show up to the concession stand can also be very difficult.
Parents of students who have to work concession stand will often miss watching their friends or kids play the sports they love.
There is work in setup and preparation of food for customers.
It can be stressful maintaining all the food and equipment.
Athletic departments would hire us to run their concession stand. We would be in charge of staffing, supplies, setup, and cleanup.
Athletic departments will not have to worry about finding parents to work or keeping stock of the food or other supplies.
Athletic departments will be able to rely on us for managing their concession stand.
Athletic departments will make a profit off of our concession stand business.
Our main customer would be the athletic departments that would be hiring us.
The attendees of the games we are working at would also be our customers.
Our addressable market would be the youth leagues, junior high, and high school athletic departments.
Athletic departments and game day eats will split revenue 50-50. 50% going to the athletic departments and 50% to game day eats.
Our starting sport will be basketball. Our initial stock will cost us roughly around $1,500.
We'll then spend roughly $650 to restock our supplies at various intervals. We estimate we'll bring in somewhere around between $950 to $1,200 per game.
Our profit, which is 50% of the concession stand profit, will be around $425 to $600 for each game. Our profit will vary depending on the sport we are servicing.
Our profit will be split between the four of us at the beginning of our business.
Eventually, we'll be hiring more employees.
Our initial goal for our first season is to attend 20 events. By doing so, our profit for the season will be around $8,500 to $12,000.
You have to look hungry.
The products in front of you are some of the items game day eats will be selling. We will also be selling fan favorite items like nachos, cotton candy, and water.
In order to get our business started, we are going to have to take a few steps. Our first step would be to find an athletic department to work with us. We have talked to athletic directors at Portsmouth High School and got good feedback from them. They seemed very interested.
Our second step would be to raise around $3,000 to get us started.
Our third step would be to purchase products and get organized for upcoming events.
A big milestone of ours is to get more and more athletic departments to hire us.
We would also like to buy more equipment to expand our menu in the future, like a cotton candy machine or a smoking machine.
The biggest long-term goal would be to switch from tables and tents to a truck, mainly for outdoor sporting goods.
Based on feedback from tired parents, our athletic directors, and other individuals involved in concessions at our school, we believe we can produce an excellent and efficient game-day concession operation that will have long-term success. So judges, who's ready to invest in game day eats so we can have a big payday?
So who came up with the idea? Where did this come from? Whose parent complained the most? Maybe is that true?
We kind of just noticed that a lot of concession stands going from sports, like we're all in sports, we've all worked for a concession stand before, just noticing how concession stands aren't consistent. So we have like some are better than others.
So question on the finances. You talked about how you would split profits 50-50 with the school. But right now, aren't they probably getting 100% of the profits? So how do you create a value to them to say they're going to make twice as much, you're going to sell twice as much product, or how are you going to pitch that to them, that knowing that you're going to have to feed yourselves, and how are you going to make that decision?
Well, most of the time, most concession stands are volunteer work, so sometimes they might have an event where they don't have a concession stand at all. So if they have somebody every time, it's a consistent, constant money coming in instead of not having it at all.
I think that's your pitch, right? It's continuity and consistency.
I was nodding my head at the first slide because I got nominated to be the boosters director. Then I realized it's because no one wanted to get concession stand workers. Have you thought about maybe like a parents' convenience fee? So like maybe the district, like all the parents just pay $10 and they never have to work in the concession stand for the year, kind of as a revenue model to supplement your, as he said, you make money off of, how many people you serve and help, but like I would gladly pay $20 and never sling nachos.
See him afterwards.
Another revenue stream.
Have you thought about like local partnerships too, like with Jets or some of those maybe local businesses? So it's, let me rephrase it. So do you see yourself buying mostly wholesale type stuff, like Sam's Club or Costco or some like GPC or something?
Yeah, just a main concession stand food that you get everywhere that everybody loves, so that way they're always going to buy something. So it's not like not taking a big stake in something.
I really like this idea. So have you thought about hot food at all?
Yes. We were going to just start off with just like the basics, candy bars, popcorn, easy stuff, until we got enough money to get the equipment to have hot food.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, thank you. Thank you all.
All right, cost printing, come on up.
Don't give the sword to Don.
All right, my name is Noah Woods.
My name is Caden Floyd.
My name is Max Evans.
And we are
Cause Printing, fueling your fantasy.
First off, we would like to thank the judges for hosting this event, Dr. Ng for giving us helpful advice, and Elle, my other presenters, for making our idea the best that it can be. And that's what we're all about here at Cause Printing. Yeah. Our mission is to create a world where cosplayers have greater access to quality 3D printed parts and props so they can be the best representation of the character they want to be.
What is cosplay? Cosplay is an act in which a person would dress up as an outfit relating to or a made-up historical fictional character, and this would then state them to act like said character. This can mean dressing up as a pirate and sailing the seas, or being a space marine lost in space. The global cosplay industry in 2020 was valued at $4.62 billion and is on the rise, expected to hit $23 billion by 2030. There are many local conventions, such as Marshall University's very own HerdCon, that has about 1,000 attendees, and it's TubasCon in Charleston, West Virginia, that has about 2,000 annual attendees as well. What's the problem? Our target consumer will be cosplayers who will buy props and accessories and to fit their major struggles, which will be buying the right prop that will fit their needs, because most artist-made props are not very accurate to what they want in a TV show or to play history.
So our solution to the problem is an Etsy shop where people can send us 3D models of the item that they want, and we can 3D print it for them. They can be customized in size, and for a small fee, we can also sand it and apply primer so that it can be painted when it is received. Now, our competition would be other services that already exist on sites such as Etsy, and there are also people who will hand make props per request, such as the clay amulet that you see on the table there. But they're typically very expensive, and as you can see, not entirely very accurate. You can purchase secondhand props, but they will most of the time be worn, or they may not be the prop that you're looking for, or you could try to buy them from popular retail stores, although most retail stores would not have the niche props that a lot of people require.
At the moment, we have two monoprice select minis with a very small range, and this will be mainly for printing smaller things such as the amulet or other jewelries. And we also have a large printer called the Creality CR30. That's for printing very large items such as the two swords that you see on the desk today.
How a customer would find our Etsy shop would be they contact us with the prop and the part that they want, and they would contact us through the Etsy shop and see if we were able to print said part. And after that, we would have them give us the size and the color that they would want, and we would give them the price estimate. How the production line would go for a product would be Noah would be slicing the model, and then he prints it and sends it to Caden. Caden would epoxy it, sand it together, and would send it to me. I would add the extra services as priming, painting, and then send the finished product to the customer.
How we will price our prints is we will charge $5 per print with an additional 25 cents for every meter of filament used, as well as a 50-cent charge per hour print time. For sanding and priming, we will charge a different range depending on the size of the materials, as well as the addition of paint. As you can see, the price of our sword is $85.25, as well as overseas sword is $230, most of the price coming from the expensive shipping, because it is a detailed prop that is for a specific character that you can't get anywhere else. And our amulet is only around $40, the artist-made amulet is only around $40, whereas our amulet is only around $19.50.
So the requirements for beginning our business would be a bank account to manage our finances and an Etsy page, which you can set up for free online, although there is a fee for uploading the listings for things. The page itself is free. Our marketing plan is that we will advertise ourselves on social media platforms where cosplaying is very common, or cosplaying groups are very common, such as Reddit, Facebook, and Instagram. And we plan to set up a booth at local conventions such as HerdCon, SabasCon, and the Huntington Comic and Toy Con. The sales that we have made so far are 5 orders, which totaled at $360 revenue. 3 of them were sanded and primed, and 2 were sanded, primed, and painted. So if we win money from this competition, we will use it to buy a resin printer and a dual extruder 3D printer, along with a belt sander, to increase the efficiency and cost effectiveness of our product. We'll also use some of the money to purchase ad space on sites such as Google, Facebook, and Instagram.
We plan on expanding past just the cosplaying market and long term into other hobbyists, for example, figurine building. We also plan to host our own website for our services so we can have a better UI experience and customizability.
And we just want to reiterate our statement: we are creating a world where cosplayers can represent the character they wish to be.
Any questions?
So my son is a cosplayer, and he's fortunate to have a lot of friends who sew. Otherwise, he wouldn't be having any costume. So, I understand that it's a big market, and, he goes to a lot of the conferences and some of the wars and other things. What I'm wondering, though, is that since all of the equipment that you're using is sort of readily available, what makes you competitive when you look at the broader market?
For 3D printers and other types of equipment such as that, it takes a lot of skill and they're very expensive typically, so the average consumer may not want to pour the time and money to buy a 3D printer and learn how to use it and then make it themselves.
Have you guys looked much into maybe like some intellectual property restrictions with like popular games or characters, those kind of things? What's your thoughts on that?
I've looked into it a bit. Cosplaying does fall under the fair use common laws, and with our service, we do not acquire the 3D model ourselves, so any IP that may be related to that 3D model is not any of our concern. We don't know where our customers get the models from. That is none of our concern. We just print it for them.
Good answer.
And avoid all legal troubles.
It does seem like a lot of your things, though, are like an amulet, an old, it could be Legend of Zelda, or also something more recent than that. So do you feel like a lot of your things would be sort of like even one step beyond fair use, like just swords and amulets and cloaks and plastic cloaks? You know what I mean? Like I don't necessarily see you having, if you stick to the sort of generic route, you might have the same.
Yeah, if you stick to the generic route, we could definitely do that if we produce our own models. But typically, whenever people cosplay, it is a specific character. So all of the things that we print will be from a specific game, show, or show series, what have you, and they will be a very specific niche item from that show. So typically, it would be much safer if they find our model. See, for example, Max, he is dressed as Shay from Assassin's Creed Rogue, and the cutlass that we printed is also a cutlass that is included in the game.
So you've got prices on these items, so sales?
Yes.
So
Yes.
ballpark, what's your sales?
At the moment, we've made 5 orders that total around $360. For the profit itself, it's a bit hard to determine because the material cost, the 3D printer, all of the spray paint that we've used, we still have that left, so it's hard to determine, but rough estimate for per part, we're making an average just through those 5 around $41 profit.
And to understand your model too, so you're looking really at customizing, you're not necessarily just going to have products on the shelf, you're looking at people actually making specific requests.
It's typically to order, yes.
So part of my job at Shawnee State's the director of grants and also director of sponsored research. And this is true for you and maybe other people in the room as well. So what sponsored research is the university has invested time in buying equipment or expertise, et cetera, like our plastics lab as an example. So people essentially buy time in the plastics lab. So if this were to take off, one way you might be able to differentiate yourselves as face up some of the equipment is you might be able to work with more advanced equipment. Our plastics grads are using a lot of these same machines and many others, so you might have an opportunity to scale up either in terms of amount or quantity or maybe even quality or all three. So just kind of keep that in mind as you.
We're looking to go for a higher quality than what you can typically find online. That's our main goal. Higher quality at a lower cost.
Yeah, Shawnee, we make back scratchers and ice scrapers and lottery scratchers, but maybe we should be making amulets. People like.
You mentioned you do have competition with others on Etsy and basically out there receiving orders, basically the same model you have, correct? So, given that those competitors are out there, what is your edge? What is it that you're going to be able to offer the customers that the others are already, that they can't offer?
The competition that exists, they don't use 3D printers to make their products. They handmade everything out of wood or out of metal. So we can make ours much quicker than they can and much cheaper than they can.
Another big advantage of the 3D printers is that there are a lot of conventions that will not allow metal props as they can be seen as weapons, whereas these are all plastic. So you can take these into whatever convention you like.
Thanks, guys. Good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Elaborate.
Good evening, everyone. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Noah Keaton, CEO of Live Epoxy Creations.
I'm Bryce Kirk, Head of Marketing.
And I'm Ashton Madden, the Chief Financial Officer, where we are solidifying craftsmanship.
Let me start by giving you some background information about Live Epoxy Creations. We are a company that makes unique epoxy products that range in size and shape to fit the needs of any customer. These can be as little as a cutting board like a full-size dining table 30 by 60. We discovered this capability when we saw some examples of epoxy work in the form of knife handles that were made from epoxy resin and natural materials. We decided to increase the scale and function of these creations and produce a wide range of creative possibilities.
Our mission is to solidify craftsmanship in a statement piece of furniture that reflects the natural environment that surrounds us and bring it indoors.
We take our locally sourced wood from a local wood mill, we cut them to size, sand them down, make our frame, make the epoxy, and pour in the frame. Wait for it to dry. It takes around 24 hours to solidify, and then after it solidifies, we sand and polish it.
Have you ever priced granite countertops? Ever wanted to get a river epoxy table at Lowe's or Home Depot, but they offer a limited selection? Have you ever wanted a unique type of furniture or table to fit your space? Dining tables, coffee tables, countertops, and cutting boards are all common and very useful pieces of furniture in a home. There is a growing interest in home and office decor based on the rustic look of country lifestyle. People are beginning to have more of an appreciation for the natural beauty of hardwood lumber and other natural resources, but many find themselves torn between these choices and the modern looks that big box stores provide.
Our solution, that's where we come in. We're adding a rustic appeal to an urban setting. We create one-of-a-kind epoxy tabletops in bright materials, designs, shapes, and finishes. We use popular woods like walnut and oak and epoxy resin coating. We turn the live edge inward so it's like a flowing river, and between the two pieces, we fill the river with an epoxy resin.
Others often make live edge tables with a natural edge facing the outside. They then cover the wood with a piece of glass to display the natural beauty of the wood. This creates opportunity for broken glass that was custom cut and expensive to replace, in order to offer the unique look that the epoxy colors can provide. We are competing with local vendors who sell these types of tables, but we offer more vibrant colors using our wood, such as a glow-in-the-dark epoxy. We are also competing with non-epoxy products, big box stores like Lowe's and Home Depot that offer a limited selection and a lack of natural beauty.
We are currently marketing our product on Etsy. We took a poll on Facebook to see if people would be interested in buying our product, and 80% of them said they were. To reach out, we are going to vendors such as the Lexington Peddlers Mall next month, as well as trying to get in contact with the Lexington Gathering to be part of their Borough Kickoff from the 10th to the 11th of April. This will help spread the word on us.
For our future business goals, we're currently working out of a vocational school. After high school, we plan to move to Philip Broad so we can purchase a workshop.
Now the fun part is the cost. It takes about $1,600 to buy the start equipment and another $150 for the start supplies. The sales price for our cutting board is $99, the cost of $27 to make, resulting in a $72 net profit. You also purchase our coffee tables for $240 with a cost of $80 to make, with a net profit of $160. Our profit margin is 72% on our cutting boards and 67% on our tables.
Going more green, we're going to partner with local logging companies and turning their trash into our treasure. For example, we would take hollow trees and turn them into cenote tables, as well as the rotting pieces of wood and turn those into cutting boards. We can utilize their waste of wood pieces and turn them into unique cutting boards and tables.
Again, we are elaborate epoxy creations that can makes unique epoxy products that range in size and shape and fit the needs of any customer, and we are solidifying craftsmanship.
Any questions?
So you had some very nice tables that you were showing there. Are those? Did you actually make those?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
We didn't have enough time to actually produce more because we were in a time crunch for everything.
Okay. So are those currently available, or where are those pictures from?
Just Google.
Okay.
But have you made products for sale?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, here we have a cutting board that we made. If y'all want to look at it.
Yes.
And where did the wood from that come from?
Trash wood from a local wood mill.
I was going to say there's a lot of wood manufacturing and furniture makers locally. Have you reached out to any of them officially?
No, sir.
So what we do is there's a piece of wood that we used for that. It was basically a junk piece of wood. Everybody had holes and it was rotten. So what we did is we just take that and thought it was unique, so we poured epoxy in it and made a unique tabletop.
Competition with local other, live edge or other things. How do you see yourself comparing to them? Other craft, this area in general has pretty nice amount of folks that do live edge tables or do a lot of unique woodwork from that. How do you see you guys competing with them or partnering with them, or what's your thoughts there?
Yeah, well, right now we actually have been asked that question, and the way we differ from it is we actually have glow-in-the-dark epoxy. So yeah, it's like we get a coffee table and it sits in sunlight all day. When you go to bed at night, turn the lights off, that table will go in the dark.
Are you all woodworkers who like epoxy, or epoxy people who like woodwork?
It's just kind of just a hobby that we picked up.
And is this, I know you said it was a CTC, but was this something you were doing out there and then really elaborated on it? Or was it something that really was just outside of the educational experience?
Well, actually one of our teachers kind of helped us with this idea. He had a little bit of experience and just kind of guided us through the process.
Again, this is very similar to some of the plastic. We don't make this stuff, but maybe we could expand it to cutting boards now too. Shawnee State Plastics Program. But same thing with you all. If this were to take off in some ways, we do have hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars in some pieces of equipment that if you really were trying to differentiate yourself, it might be either scaling up or quality. There could be opportunities there. It's really pretty. Are there any food issues with this? Is this
So
like
it's FDA approved.
Okay. Think about that.
Thank
Looks
you.
great.
That's that question before. Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Made a plastic brick in high school.
All right, Aliana, come on up.
Good evening, judges. Have you ever been in a scenario where you have felt uncomfortable on your morning walk or run? This is Kenzie. She represents a scenario that happens if you use our competition mace spray you might wear around your neck. See Kenzie struggling to get her keys off of her neck? That represents 75% of runners each year who get attacked. But see, with our new innovative product, you can now wear your pepper spray around your wrist.
That's right, Jenna. I felt more prepared in the event of my attack. A little breakdown of our product. We have included a simple, easy-to-use method where you simply slip, snap, and spray our pepper spray. We have also added a detachable high-volume whistle that you can use to ward off any attackers and let others know that are in the area. Our whistle is 3D printed, and you can get it in any color you like.
Our target customers will be female and male runners that feel unsafe on their daily walks and runs.
Now, why would you use us? We provide a simple, easy-to-use product that you simply slip, snap, and spray. Now you might be thinking, Jenna, where could you possibly sell these? We sell these at road races, pop-up shops, online, on our website, and through our Facebook group.
Our product costs around $15 to make, but we profit both from our wristlet and pepper spray supplier. Speaking of that, our wristlet costs $15 per bracelet, including pepper spray and 50 cents per whistle. Our pepper spray can only provide a single-use option due to the size of the container and the pepper spray inside. But obviously, we do buy them in bulk for $200 for $50, and we sell them in singles for $5 and doubles for $10.
Our product costs $25 per wristlet to each customer. This makes our profit $9.50 for all the components.
Also, we would need around $1,000 to get our product off the ground and running. We would hopefully get this from our competition.
We have tested and approved our product with a local survey. All 50 to 60 people said our product would be more efficient and they would feel better protected using alloy armor.
When we do transfer to mass production business, we would be working directly with Thumb and Thimble in Ashland, Kentucky to produce and distribute our products.
We pay Sammy Young, the owner of Thumb and Thimble, 20% of our profit to distribute our product through shipping.
See, we're different than our normal competition mace spray because when you're running, who wants to hear your keys clanking around your neck? Or in the event of attack, who wants to reach in your fanny pack or reach in your purse? Most people don't carry mace when they're actually on their runs because it's too bulky and they feel like it's unimportant.
Our competition mace spray actually takes on average 15 more seconds, like Jenna said, to reach in your purse or around your fanny pack, compared to our signature wristlet, which is also made out of recyclable materials.
What makes us different is our wristlet comes equipped with a high volume whistle. The whistle is 120 decibels and can alert anybody in the event of attack.
Through the building of our product's popularity, we would like to expand into new staff and influencers to wear and show off our product. We would also like to have a warehouse where we can store our products safely and efficiently. We would also like to have investors to invest in our product and hopefully make our product better and more innovative. We would like to expand into new colors like
blue, pink,
and our original black.
We work directly with the Scioto County Shelter. With the growing rate of human trafficking, we would donate 10% of our profits back to them.
We also spoke to our local Portsmouth Police Department and the head of the detective, Jody Conkle, and she made a statement that said she could see everybody in the community having one when they're running.
We would like to advance our product with and adding a potential tracking device and add more staff. Lastly, we would like to invest into a larger 3D printer where we
printer for our warehouses where we can print our own whistles and decals.
And we would not stop there. We would also like to speak to more and more charities and local police departments so we can better our products for you.
So, are you ready to slip,
snap, spray? So judges, are you ready to start protecting yourself? We are Ally Armor. Does anybody have any questions for us?
So I do walk with mace because I got attacked by a dog one time, and I've gotten slower as I've gotten older. And I actually dropped mace today. It got crushed by a car on 23 because it fell out of my hand. So is your product the wristband and the whistle, and then you buy the mace separately?
Yes, we do buy those in bulk. We buy those in bulk for $200 for $50 from a local, from a bulk supplier, and we do sell the bracelet and the whistle, which we make ourselves.
How many sizes do you have?
We have small, medium, and large. Those depend within $1 a piece per.
So as you go up.
Yes.
And you can just wash it?
Yes, it's machine washable on cold. It's also dryable. It's made from your, what you would consider your maybe legging material, or maybe like a sweatshirt, like a jogging shirt material. It's like a nylon.
And the whistle, you said is 3D printed?
It is. Yes.
So one of my jobs at Shawnee is the plastics program, and abilities to make things out of plastic. I pitched it 3 times in a row. They pay my mortgage, so I have to say. But yeah, if it does take off, think about plastic. That's really a small whistle, and you might be able to get, kind of like the last group, leftover wood. You might be able to find some leftover resins that would be a lot cheaper than buying them wholesale. So
absolutely.
So you have had sales?
We have had sales. We've had 3.
Okay. And good feedback?
Absolutely. Everybody who we've said has said that they would much rather. I'm a complete scaredy cat, if I'm going to be honest with you. And when I'm walking out of places, it makes me feel more comfortable when I wear the bracelet and I feel more protected.
You thought about, and this might be in the future, but almost like a Spider-Man web shooter type thing, where it's like you just push it. Is that something?
That is absolutely something that we have thought about. We would also like to expand, hopefully, when we get a little larger, we would also like to expand, maybe have a flashlight and a bear spray for people who like to hike.
I have that too.
You also talked about a tracker or tracking.
Yes.
So how do you envision that?
We envision that with so within the bracelet itself, if you want to look at it, it has double fabrics of the nylon inside of the actual bracelet. When you sew it, we sew it together, and potentially we could put the tracker in between those 2 pieces.
Other questions, Joe?
I just have one more. So have you thought about, like I said, I'm an avid mace user. I don't mace anybody, but I carry it with me. Have you thought about a way that it could, I'm not saying lock on necessarily, but make it so it'd be hard for a person to rip off in the event that someone was trying to
We
rip
have thought
off?
about maybe a button, which would make it a little harder to rip off than the Velcro, which is something that we would also like to look into to better innovate our product.
Thank you. Good answer.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time.
Who's your product? Yeah, I don't face myself.
Well, I mean, now that I was here.
Good evening, Dare to Dream judges. We are excited to be here representing Midford High School to present Smitten Shirts, Warm Hands and Enhanced Performance. My name is Miranda Johnson, and I am a sophomore at Midford High School.
My name is Jacob Story, and I'm a senior at Midford High School.
And my name is Elena McRoberts, and I'm also a senior at Midford High School.
Our missions in entering this year's competition is to develop a sustainable, comfortable product that will positively contribute to the local economic environment through the addition of employment opportunities and ultimately improve the socio-economic climate in Southern Ohio. So how do we do this? We solve problems.
Have you ever been on the sidelines of a game anxiously waiting for the coach to put you in? You want to be comfortable and stay warm while cheering on your teammates, but you lost your mittens at last practice? And now you feel froze from head to fingertips.
Or maybe your alarm goes off on a blustery winter morning, and as you prepare to head out on a run before work or school, only to realize you forgot and lost your gloves or mittens. And by the time you find them, your training time for the morning has been wasted, and that means no run for you.
Or maybe it's hunting season, and you find yourself in your tree stand looking down at the biggest buck you've ever seen. But your fingertips are so cold from losing your mittens on the trek into the woods that you don't trust your trigger finger to be ready for the pull.
And while considering the solution to cold hands through the creation of the smittenship product itself, we also considered the socioeconomic impact our solution would have on our community. After attending the Entrepreneurial Journey Speaker Series, we learned from Dale King that many people cannot get a job after recovery due to prior convictions. So as a part of our mission, our goal is to bring textile manufacturing jobs to Southern Ohio and offer seamstress training to those in transitional recovery as part of the work programs offered through the Counseling Center.
So, what is a smitten shirt? As you can see from the prototypes we are wearing, a smitten shirt combines a base layer, long sleeve shirt with an optional use mitten flap that can easily be folded over the fingers when needed. The flap can be tucked under, inside the sleeve, or rolled up into the cuff when temperatures or activity level changes. As we stated previously, we would manufacture these shirts locally here in Portsmouth, providing training and job opportunity to residents in the Counseling Center Transitional Living Program. Now you're probably wondering, how do we get started?
We will start by partnering with Soul Choice. They have been experts in manufacturing for over 100 years to utilize their vacant sewing machines and unused warehouse space.
We'd invest our winnings and funds from local investors to purchase material and thread.
And as previously mentioned, we would partner with the Counseling Center to offer seamstress training, opportunities, and jobs to people in recovery.
Our startup costs will be minimal. The primary cost will be for the purchase of material and thread. The sewing machines are already in place but not currently in use as Soul Choice. The only remaining expense would be to pay an experienced seamstress to train new employees. For our marketing strategy, we will sell locally and we will advertise on social media platforms.
As a final thought to consider, while there are competing products on the market, as a base layered shirt, mittens, or even mitten clips to keep the two attached, there's no identical product being offered to solve the missing mitten problem.
In closing, we hope you all share the excitement we have for this product, as well as for the potential impact it could bring into textile manufacturing to the recovery community and Southern Ohio.
Smitten shirts, warm hands, enhanced performance.
Are there any questions?
So who came up with this idea?
Well, it was kind of a collective thought because all of our moms have the common, frustration of where are your gloves? Where is your little sibling's gloves? So then it's kind of like, where is the matching pair? Well, if it's right in your sleeve, if it's up your sleeve, you don't have to worry about it.
So is there just like a little fold in there where that's being...
Well, it's kind of just folded into the sleeve, so you can unfold, like if you're on a run and then your fingers get cold, you can unfold it and then put it on. And then for convenience, it just tucks into the sleeve.
Okay.
So with the partnerships you talked about, Soul Choice and Counseling Center, have those been conversations, or is that just an idea? Explain that.
Yes, we had a phone call with one of the owners of Soul Choice. I do not recall his name at this time, but we discussed with him that they do not operate at 100% capacity. So we would be able to go in and operate and rent space from them to operate Smitten. And then as far as the Counseling Center, we we discussed with Max Lyles. He is one of the head people at the Counseling Center, and he said that this would be a great opportunity for people in the transitional program.
So you mentioned, how encouraged you've been by Dale King's, or inspired you've been by Dale King's remarks, and he really is an amazing speaker. Of course, working with a workforce in recovery requires some commitment on the part of the employers. So say a little bit more about how that would work. You're working with a recovery house or some other facility that...
Well, the counseling center, they have transitional living programs, and I know that they have like TCC Garage, so the counseling center garage, where they hire people in recovery to work for the counseling center, where they do automobile repairs. So this would kind of be like that in a sense. We would employ people in recovery to work if they are unable to find jobs because of prior convictions or, say, felonies. They would be able to come work for us as a kind of way to start a new life.
Do you see the mittens staying, is it probably going to be the same material as the shirt itself, or do you see like I'm not saying a tougher mitten, but like a, you know what I'm trying to say?
More durable?
Yeah, like is it mostly for cold, or like could you go skiing with these mittens?
I mean, I would say it was just for like kind of blocking the weather cold, but there would be potential for adding like inserts as far as like wool and, not wool, but like a...
That's fine. If the answer is just it's cold weather, that's fine. I mean,
yes.
Everyone's hands get cold, so it's...
But there would be potential to like add grip on the outside for maybe people who have to do outdoor work and things like that.
Any other questions? I do have one. How much time did you spend on putting the numbers together as far as what you would have to sell your shirts at?
We have a slide prepared for this.
Well, that's good. Let's see.
So for me to make the shirts, I had to use about, for my size, small shirt was about 1 1/4 yards of a 16-inch fabric, and then plus thread. So all of that together ended up coming out to be about $18.
But you have labor, you have cost of material, everything. Very nice. Any other questions? All right. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Eco Ride, come on up.
Hello, I am Emily.
I'm Zach,
And
we are Eco Ride. Here in Portsmouth, we don't have enough transportation options. There are a lot of people walking places, and not a lot of people have cars to drive around.
People need to get from place to place, but many people don't have a good way to do that here. But we are going to solve that problem with our transportation business, Eco Ride. Our business is going to be a taxi cab system that stays in town and relies on money from the ads that we display. There is no business like ours in our area, and we won't work like most taxi systems either.
The money that the drivers get from driving people around will be purely based on tips, not a set charge like most other taxi systems. This leaves people with the freedom and choice of how much money they want to give us. We will also have both sides of the car to display ads to make most of our money as well. We would charge a set amount of money every day we drive for these displayed ads.
Here in Portsmouth, there is a lack of transportation options. If there's need for a ride somewhere, they will mostly call a friend.
There's a huge chunk of people without cars depending on bikes and walking around for ways to get from place to place. And not all the towns are within walking distance for most. Because of this, people who walk and bike around are a good target for customers. Another group of customers to target would be students at Shawnee, because many students don't have cars and they are in need of our rides around town and campus.
There are nearly 1,000 Shawnee students living in dorms on campus at the moment, and most of these students are in need of our service some of the time. This is the Polaris Gem E6. This is the model that we are going to be driving. This car we'll be driving around will be an electric and environmentally friendly, safe car. This car is very affordable at $18,000.
It is 3 times cheaper to run an electric car than a gas car for the same exact distance. Our car will be recognizable and noticeable as well because of the ads and the size of the vehicle, which could be valuable for potential advertisers.
The drivers will be working for tips, so we won't have to worry about paying them hourly. This means that the drivers will work hard based on how much money they make is based directly on them. This is also convenient for our customers because they pay based on their current situations instead of needing a certain amount of cash every time they get in the car.
They may pay more or less than a normal charge would be, but this goes to the drivers and not the business as a whole.
But the main way we make money will be in electronic advertisements on the side of the car. We will have no problem with getting advertisers, and we can display more than once if we do them electronically.
If we are driving everywhere around town, many people will see our unique vehicle and recognize that immediately. And businesses will see the potential and importance of advertising on something that is traveling and moving, not just staying in one place. We can also take on more than one ad at a time doing it electronically. All we would have to do is change them after a set amount of time. This will give us the opportunity to have more than one business at a time paying us for ads.
The businesses that are committed to our brand of transportation are SOMC, Portsmouth Ambulance, and Cornerstone United Methodist Church. We would like to partner with additional businesses like Shawnee State as our transportation business grows. The costs and revenues in our business go as follows.
With the cost of the car, the advertisement boards, and other additional startup costs, an approximate startup cost for our business will be $30,000.
Each week we will be driving 20 hours and we will have 3 advertisers.
This means we will be making $2,250 per month and $27,000 per year with these exact numbers.
Also, as we progress, we will add more vehicles and advertisers to raise the price of the ads that we display that will be more valuable over time.
In bigger cities, there will be buses, other taxi systems, trains, and other competition to our business idea.
But here in Portsmouth, our competition won't be anything actual businesses. Bikers and people offering rides will be the main source of competition, which is much easier to compete with than any actual businesses.
We plan to improve our business over time to make it better. One example of this would be to display more ads over time and possibly raise the charge of the ads as more businesses want to display their ads on our car. When we get the profit and money we need, we will also add a car to the business and a couple of drivers as well.
Finally, looking long into the future, we can potentially expand out of Portsmouth and into other nearby towns such as Ashland or Huntington.
In conclusion, we want to be a transportation system in Portsmouth that displays ads for money instead of depending on money charges from our customers.
We are also very environmentally friendly with a car powered by electricity instead of gas that can harm the environment. Thank you for listening to our presentation on EcoRide. We hope you enjoyed it.
So a question about the drivers. So having drivers work for tips is, I understand the business model of that, but are you concerned about, especially in this job market right now where it's hard to find workers, period, that you wouldn't be able to find work drivers that would be willing to work just for tips?
Well, I think to start, the people who start the business, me and Emily, will be the drivers to start with, and then eventually we can hire more drivers. And there's plenty of people in this area that will, just want to drive for a job because some people enjoy that.
It's called Uber.
Have you all given, I know you mentioned competition and Steve just mentioned Uber. Why did you not mention Uber as part of your competition?
I don't think there's very much of that, anything like that around here. In other cities, there's a lot of that, but here we don't see too much of that.
I would say that would be the current state. I think that's the thing I would look at your projections going forward. Those things, Uber and Lyft. You're absolutely right. It's not like I can sit here and dial up 5 Ubers here to pick me up to San Francisco. Right? But at some point, that continues to expand.
Have you also thought about maybe even offering a service similar to DoorDash, right? Okay, again, you've got an electric vehicle, you're advertising, and you're going to be running around town a lot if you're just delivering food items. So another angle that you could maybe take your your business and not only just rely on giving rides to people, but also rides for food to people.
Yeah, we haven't thought about that yet, but that could be a potential next step.
I mean, do you see yourself more as a advertising company, taxi company, or a transportation company?
I think a little bit of both, because the main thing we do would have to do with transportation, but the main way we make money would have to do with the ads.
So remind me, you already have talked to folks who are potentially good to advertise on your cars?
Yes, we have SOMC, Portsmouth Ambulance, and CoreSite, my United Methodist Church.
And how many do you need to make your revenue model work?
We haven't thought about that yet, but that's a good question that we can think of in the future.
And also, you know, I'm a veteran, and I know that VA does a lot of stuff with transporting veterans back and forth, so that might be a potential way to get into the, you know, as they start to outsource more care to the community, they might be able to get in that as an option.
Other questions? All right. Thank you, Eagle.
All right, so that concludes the presentations for the evening. So the judges will go and deliberate and review all of the team's presentations, all of their scores, and come back and we'll present the winners. So thank you all very much. This is our second intermission. We'll be back in probably about 10, 15 minutes or so. Did somebody leave a wallet purse up here? It is incredibly hard to package all of that work into 5 minutes and then pitch it to these judges, and that's all they get to make these decisions. And I know it's a difficult decision, as Steve's going to talk about here in a minute. So I wanted to say a couple things before we get started here. The first is that they're going to talk about the awards. The money typically, it'll take maybe a month to get distributed. Mike Thompson is going to follow up with all the teachers. Kindred Charities will be the ones sending the checks. Very importantly, you will need to fill out a W-4 in order to receive that money. And if you don't fill out the W-4, then you won't get the prize money. So please look for that and make sure to actually do that. Mike Thompson will be the point of contact along with your teachers to make sure that happens. The other quick note I wanted to make here, you're kind of getting a sneak preview here. In May, we are working with one of our off-campus partners to create a maker market on 3rd Street out here in front of the university for regional vendors to come in and spend a couple days as that maker market. And I wasn't going to talk about this, but because I heard so many teams talk about maker markets and vendor markets as part of their marketing plans, if you are interested in that, please let me know. The website is igniteappalachia.com. It actually just launched yesterday. It will be a competitive application. So it's for people who are really serious about taking this to the next level. They're looking to draw in vendors from the region, not just from Portsmouth. So it's also a great opportunity if you'd like to get your product in front of an audience who's looking for that sort of thing. That is May 6th and 7th. Again, you can talk to me, that's igniteappalachia.com. Let's see here. And if you are concerned about being ready for a program like that, there will be educational programs for new businesses. All right, so with that, I'd like to bring up Steve to talk about the prizes. Come on up.
So I'm the only thing between you and money, so I will be quick. I have this is usually Andy Glockner, who kind of does a little statement here at the end. And on behalf of him and the Glockner family, foundation folks, and everything, it's a great opportunity to be here. I tell people every year, for me personally and all the things I'm involved with, this is like a nice shot in the arm of interest and excitement, because you guys are on the upslope of having dreams and having ideas and trying to make those happen, and that's a great place to be. You are all winners. The one thing I would seriously like to say to you, as somebody who's been involved in this for, I think, all but that first year, you have no idea how good you are.
compared to what we have seen in the past. This group is outstanding, and we just are really impressed with the level of detail, the ideas, the presentations. You have great futures ahead of you, and entrepreneurship is a great way to make your way. I'm born and raised from this area, and I've always felt like it's people like us that make the difference, and we do it by one business at a time, one job at a time, and you folks are really an inspiration to help in making that happen, not just today, but in many, many times to come. So thank you for that. That was hopefully short and sweet, because, and you know, the W-4 is a reminder, so Uncle Sam's gonna, you know, keep an eye on cash that comes out too. So, but we do want you to follow that process. But I'm going to kind of turn it over to Don. We'll go through the process. There's a few awards. I think we're going to have people come up, and then if you want to do some quick photos with the individual teams and back and forth, because I know it's a long night, everybody's tired, but it is money, so it's probably worth sticking around for. So thank you all, and let's get to the final results. All right. This was not easy.
Yeah, not easy for sure. You know, Steve made mention of it. Definitely the most difficult year to judge yet. I think we said that last year as well. But what we keep seeing is progression, and these teams are getting better and better and better. So just congratulations to everyone that presented tonight. You all did a fantastic job. Really great ideas. And I'm going to tell you this. You have to dream it first, right? And so congratulations for dreaming it. Now let's see if you can make some of these things happen. I think some of you all can. So now with that said, we have a little money to maybe help that happen, right? We now have the two teams at $750 level are Eco Ride and Country Boy. I'm right this time. The four teams at the $1,000 level are Cost Printing, Mind, Cool Heads, and Game Day Eats. Congratulations. In ninth place, with a $1,250 award, we have Smitten. Eighth place, with $1,500 award, is Ensuing Electricity. Seventh place, with a $2,500 award. Actually, I'm sorry. This is actually fifth place, and there's a three-way tie. Each team wins $2,500, and the three teams are Bikers Light, Heck Yeah, and Elaborate Epoxy. All right, down to the final four. At a $3,500 award level, we have Allie Armour. Winning $4,000 in third place, Tailbacker. With an award of $4,250, we have in second place, Handmade. And the number one team for the 2022 Dare to Dream pitch competition is the Diamond, with an award of $4,500 for first place. Congratulations, everyone. We do have a few additional awards to hand out. We have 4 categories this year. Winning the Social Impact Award with $500 is Smitten. Winning the Environmental Award with $500 is Elaborate Epoxy.
It's like an adder. It's like a kicker.
It's on top of what you were already awarded. The Most Daring Dream Award of $1,000 goes to Bikers Light. And our Most Viable Business Idea with a $1,000 award on top of what was already awarded is handmade. That's it. No more awards.
Mike, you want to?
Yeah, we'll just start calling up the teams. We're going to take some group photos. We're going to take group photos of each team if you want to do that. We'll start off with the first place team, which is the Diamond, if you would come up. Who's taking photos? Who's going to take the photos?
Yeah.
Steve, would you stay up with us on the teams? And David at the same time?
Yes.
And Don?
Congratulations.
It's all part of this photo
About to
taking.
shake hands. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Parents, if you want to come up and take pictures while we're doing this, it'd be good. And number 2 team, which was Handmade. Now, if I got that right, Don,
Yes.
second place, make more money.
Could be. Because of the special award?
Yeah.
Potentially, yes.
He's got the kicker.
Yes, they did, because they got the $1,000 award.
Did you get that point? You were second place, but you made more money.
Hey.
That's what's important, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. Congratulations.
Who's third? Don Cole. Oh, this is Tailbacker. You're plunk and you're done.
Yep.
Congratulations. Yeah, no mask. Take your mask off. They want to see your pretty faces. Good job.
Good. Thumbs up. One more. I think one more, guys. One more for an action shot. All right. Congratulations, guys. Keep making them. All right. Thank you.
Fourth.
I'm pouring it up.
Computer went to sleep.
Yeah.
Fourth, you know who you are. Come on up.
If you know who you are, if you remember.
Yeah, they'll probably know.
It's Allie on.
They know who they are. And what was their amount of money? It's pretty.
It was $3,500.
$3,500. Gee, my math is pretty good. That's $1,000 a piece. Yeah. Your fifth place team
Is Bikers Light with a 20, actually there's 3 fifth place teams.
Okay.
So, but Bikers Light, Heck Yeah, and Elaborate Epoxy.
All the fifth place teams come on up at once. All the fifth place teams.
Congratulations.
Congrats, guys.
Good
job.
Good job.
They need to see your faces. They need to see your faces. Congratulations. Good job.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you all. Congrats. Congratulations. Good job. Good job, Ron.
We're going to have the rest of the teams all come up as a group. Rest of the teams all come up as a group. Some of them up here, some of them down here. We got one
Top row, bottom row. Congratulations.
Is Shawnee? I guess.
Take a knee, and even some back here.
We're sitting on the floor. One, two, three.
If anyone wants to tour the plastics lab, that can be made through the Office of Admissions. Any of the groups.
Okay.